Actual progress on the free-to-play? Wow! Hello everyone, Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and we are here on the free-to-Paws account, and we're going to be talking about some progress. So we have certainly been making some progress lately. Hopefully you guys tuned into the chart poll video where I got some actually super exciting champions for this account. I'm not going to say they're always the best champions, but honestly, champions that are exciting for this account don't have to be the best champions in the game. They have to be useful champions for this account. So let's talk a little bit about what I've been up to, some of the progress I've made, and even show you a couple of builds, because I know that's actually been requested for one of the factions. Now, as you can see here, I've got all three of the factions that I've actually gotten through on the screen here. Now, obviously, High Elves is unlocked. High Elves, I can run 20 on auto. I can't go in and show you my team, but I will show you what my team is in this thing later. Undead Hordes, I beat that early on, and then Sacred Order is the one I have beat recently. In fact, let me pull up the team that I used to beat Faction Wars on Sacred Order. So here you go behind me. You can see this was the team I used. Alice did most of the damage because of course she did, not a big surprise there. Templar did some additional damage. He's mostly built super tanky. The big reason Templar exists in this team is he happens to be a 6-star that almost can't die. So not having to worry about reviving him or healing him in any way, shape, or form, and he's adding a little bit of extra damage is great. Lysea, she's tankier than anybody else at the moment in this particular team. She's not great, but she does bring the block debuffs, which was useful occasionally. And the freeze didn't suck when I could get that up, but I didn't book her. She wasn't built very well. You can see I didn't even ascend her, and that was fine. Adriel was built with some built-in healing and used for her healing passive. I really don't like Adriel. I think Mother Superior is probably a better healer if you're going to invest in one of them. But I had Adriel. I actually didn't have a Mother Superior at the time, and she was already 4 stars, so I threw some gear on her and she seemed to work. And then finally, I had 6-starred Artor, and I leveled him up a bit. Didn't finish leveling him up entirely. Wasn't fully rolled up on the gear as well because I was certainly low on silver. He is in a Relentless set, and I'll kindly show you that. Adriel, I think, was actually missing gear when I ran this, though. Ator, really, really good, helped a ton, kept everyone alive, and then gave me the revive when I needed it. Alice, generally fairly tanky, so that helped. Templar, generally fairly tanky, that helped. And Lysea offered a little bit of extra support, whereas Adriel also offered some extra healing as well. So that was this team. It took 6.5 minutes of me manualing through most of the waves, or not through most of the waves. I did the roll for the first wave. The second wave I manualed a little bit to get the boss, and I kind of had to deal with the boss because this is the revive boss. So this is a boss that is difficult to deal with because the minions don't stay dead. This is actually where a Fennex or a Armiger can actually be super helpful because they can actually make sure that people stay dead, but I needed the extra healing and my Artor was not fully built. But this kind of shows you if you have the right team composition, you don't have to have the best champions in any slot to beat a Faction Wars team. And I'll show you the builds for this pretty quickly. So here's my Alice. She really has not changed much. 205 speed, enough accuracy to land her debuffs, and then some. 300-ish is better than I need for Faction Wars. You need about 200 to 225 for Faction Wars. Lots of crit damage in Savage. That's where she is such a powerhouse. Do not underestimate how good Savage is on a nuker, and that is the reason that she is doing as much as she is, on top of the fact that I do have the Cat's Gaze, which helps ignore additional defense. It's actually ignoring currently 14% extra defense. And then we do have the 5-star Blessing, which gives her a bunch of extra stats. That is huge in making her do the job that she needs to do. Templar, again, this is in my Templar video. This is a very similar build. I don't think I've changed this that much since that video. So he's got, 280-ish speed, no accuracy because he doesn't need a lot of accuracy. He does have a provoke, but that's not what I'm using him for. He is fully booked. I did book him for extra damage probably. Yeah, because he gets a little extra damage out of that. So I did book him. I guess I was 6-starring him. I might as well book him at that point in time. And yeah, mostly pretty tanky. So if I go here, he's got almost 50k HP, 3.5k defense. He does have a Phantom Touch Blessing because he needs a blessing and might as well get Phantom Touch to do a little extra damage. And the Golden Elixir is what I use because he does solo stuff. So this Golden Elixir is great to keep him alive if he starts losing too much HP. Ludex Artor here is in gear. Now he has got this perception gear, even though he doesn't need the accuracy because this is extra speed. And this is a really, really good glove triple speed roll on that. Nice. That's going to be on my account for a long time. That's going to probably end up on a different champion, but for now it works on him. I wanted to build him super fast. I just couldn't get him super fast without building weird accuracy, but I did manage to actually get him in this nice relentless set with this speed. I think I will probably eventually rebuild him to get him closer to 270-ish speed if I can manage to do it. Probably get rid of the relentless gear. I do kind of need to book him first before I do that, but once I start doing that, I think he will be usable in my arena teams on this account for a while. And until then, he's still very useful for a lot of support. So this is a good PvE build, and if I want a PvP build, I'm definitely going to need to lean into the speed quite a bit more and probably remove some of the tankiness here, although again, this piece is probably not coming off. So that's kind of the Ludex Artor build. For Glycea, you can see I didn't even have full ascended speed boots. She's got enough accuracy to land her debuffs. She's got okay speed. I could certainly roll this boots up, and that, you know, that will get me another 15 to 20 speed. And then, yep, Adriel was missing gloves. I didn't realize it until after I'd lost a battle, or actually I didn't have lost a battle, but I had restarted the battle once, and I didn't wait to see that she had been missing gear. So that made it even more interesting. But that is how good Lutex's A1 is. So the A1 with the build you have right here, what's his HP? It's, you know, almost 40k HP. With a 3-star blessing, he is healing here. He was healing about 2k on everybody every hit. Doesn't sound like a lot, but giving his A1 somewhat regularly, that was helpful. Increased accuracy, or the increased attack, was very helpful. The strengthen was very helpful in keeping people alive as well. And, you know, of course, the revival here. And to be fair, I don't think this was booked at all. These books have landed in there since I finished that faction. But again, goes to show you the type of team you're kind of looking for to build a faction team out. So I'm looking forward to actually making some progress here in Knights Rev. I've got 18 keys, and I'll run them after I post this video. But I have been investing Dawncaller. I'm probably going to see if I can 5-star her during this champion training event that is going on before I start running this stuff. She has been absolutely amazing, and between her and Rector, people are just staying alive, and it's absolutely awesome. Whisper is 6-star, and she is finally starting to smack as she gets closer to that level 60 and she gets most of her masteries. Her masteries are not quite done yet. In fact, if I go take a look at her masteries, we are waiting. I need about 150 more because she is going to get Helm Smasher. I've got her in Savage. In fact, these are crit damage gloves in Savage. So she is built to absolutely smack. I have decided to not build her with a lot of accuracy, although I certainly could maybe get an accuracy banner later on. I decided I needed the damage more than I needed her to land the weaken on her A1. It does mean that I'm certainly giving up a little bit of ability on this one here, where she gets an extra turn if they're under decreased defense and weaken, because this weaken is not going to happen as often, but she does get extra turns under this ability sometimes as well, and it increases damage inflicted by bosses, and she just hits really, really hard. So she's going to be very helpful. And then Thylesia, I don't need to book her, so I haven't booked her, but I have been working on some of her masteries because she is a really good champion and she's going to be useful in this account for a while. And I built her, I put defense chest on her because I wanted her to kind of stay alive. I think I'd prefer an HP chest, but this chest was really, really good with double speed hit in impulse, and it let me actually get 2 pieces of impulse on her. And this rolled really well into accuracy as well. So I've got more than enough accuracy on her. And overall, yes, she's kind of squishy, although she'll certainly get better as I level up with that HP. She's got okay-ish defense, but she's got really good speed and enough accuracy to go all the way to level 21. And so as I level her up a bit, that will be very helpful as well. Plus I've got the coronet on her, which will get her some extra damage. Now she's losing out on damage because I went with a defense-based chest, but she's got the full crit rate with some crit damage here. So in general, she'll still be doing a decent amount of damage, certainly better than Executioner was doing, and certainly better than Longsword Thorax has been doing. I still do need to finish building this guy just a little bit because he's kind of the other person that's going to be sticking around, because compared to these two, Longsword TX is a better champion. He gives me an AoE provoke. He gives me some extra weird counterattacks and block damage occasionally, so he stays alive more often. And he actually does a decent amount of damage and can provide a leech. So all of those things combined make him kind of interesting on this account. So I might make him a 5-star rare and see if I can kind of push this faction with all these champions at 5 stars and Rector Drath at 6 stars along with Whisper, and see how far I can push. I think with those built like that, I should be able to push, maybe I'll even finish Knight's Rev, because Rector is a hard carry, and I'll have one mega damage dealer against the boss, which should mean I don't have to worry too much, because this is the boss that does the swap health. And I've got the dual revivers for keeping everyone alive, and I've got a decreased defense champion that does additional damage as well. So I think overall, that should be a solid team to help me do what I need to do. If I find that I'm still struggling and Longsword is not doing the job, Sepulchre Sentinel may come in, because Sepulchre gives me the block debuffs, but I do have to be careful about that, because block debuffs can be stolen by the boss, and then I suddenly can't put debuffs on the boss. So that's my plan for Faction Wars in Knight's Rev, and that's where I've been making some progress there, and that's basically my goal in a lot of these things. I'm taking and identifying factions where I've got champions and I think I can push further, and I'm pushing further. Dark Elves, I've got the Reviver, I've got a bunch of damage. I'm missing really some good healing or some other support. There's not a lot of healing in Dark Elves, so we'll see what happens. If I can get a Painkeeper, I can probably finish Dark Elves with the champions I have, and I might just have to book my Fang Cleric. Barbarians will eventually, waiting for Syl seems to be the keynote there. Bannerlords, could be a little bit better. My Dwarves are solid, but not amazing. I don't have a Reviver. I don't have a good healer. Same with Shadowkin. Demon Spawn, I've got Dur, and now I've got Achek the Wanderer, or the Wenderin, I think is his name, and he's going to actually be super helpful, so I'm probably going to invest a little bit in him, but Dur is also going to become a 5-star, because I think Dur is going to help me through the Demon Spawn Crypt as well. And then Skinwalkers and Lizardmen are just kind of hanging around a little bit, but that's kind of where we've been progressing with this account, and that's been the biggest progress point, is getting some of this Faction War stuff done. What has doing all this Faction War stuff helped me with? Well, I've been able to craft a ton of perception. In fact, this is basically the stuff that I've earned since I crafted during CVC, where I crafted 70 6-star or 5-star perception gear, as well as a bunch of this resilience gear here. So we are, crafting good gear, which is helping the account, because perception is starting to be the lifeblood of the account. I can start on counting on having good perception pieces on this account, and that has been absolutely huge. On top of that, I'm getting more glyphs. I'm getting better glyphs, which means I can worry about glyphing my champions up a little bit more. I can actually just kind of use them without really thinking about them on the 4-star level without too much of a problem anymore. And it's helping the account. It's helping me push into a better clan boss team, a better Hydra team, a better Chimera team, and ultimately better dungeon team. Now, I'm still waiting for champions to make progress in some of these dungeons. I'm certainly waiting for champions to make progress in some of the Centranos floors, as well as the Doom Tower. For example, on the current Doom Tower rotation, I am really hard stuck on hard stage 35, I think it is. Yep, stage 36. So, and the problem I have is these first 2 floors have Hegemons on them. So I have to deal with 2 Hegemons that just absolutely murderize my team before I can really do anything to get through. Now, there are some options I can use to maybe keep the team alive. There's a couple things I could certainly play around with. I haven't had a lot of time to play around with it yet. I do recall during the Hell Hades free-to-play challenge, I think this was where I hard stopped, or I maybe got lucky on this, and the Hegemons just managed to not lock me out and not kill me, and that let me get through. So that's kind of where I'm at. But again, that is kind of the way this game goes. You pull some champions, you make the best use of the champions you get on your roster, and then you work on those and you keep on going. So who are my next 6-stars on this account? Well, I just 6-starred this dude. He's certainly been helpful on this account, and I think he will continue to be helpful as I can invest more into him. Fabian is always in the running for a good 6-star. I don't think I'm going to 6-star Ugir. He's been okay, but he's not screaming, this is a champion I need to build out and invest in. At least not right now. Giscard's same problem. He's okay. Gorgrab, he's done his job at 5 stars. He'll eventually get up to 5-star level 50, and I'll be happy with him. Honestly, Fellhound might be kind of fun because he'll speed up my campaign farming a little bit. But honestly, Alice does a great job, and I don't see me ever getting rid of Alice out of that role at this point in time, because Alice just does a really good job. And if I stop using Alice as an arena nuker, she'll still probably stick around in campaign farming because she does a mostly good job. Cleopteryx is probably the most likely next person to go. I've been trying to I'd like to try to book her at some point in time, but as a damage dealer, she needs to be a 6-star champion. So I think Cleopteryx gives me an option for a possible arena nuker that I don't have right now as an extra option. She gives me a Hydra nuker, and she'll give me some additional damage on Faction Wars. And to be fair, you can just out damage the floors on Faction Wars and be done with them as well. So that might be a way to go, particularly because I do have Yuzan, who's going to become a 5-star without a problem. Other options also include Lady Annabelle, because, well, Lady Annabelle is going to help me against Bommel. So I may be time for me to invest in her because the Bommel rotation is coming up soon. She will probably end up being at least 5-star after this champion training, if not more. And as I mentioned, Dur is going to be 5-star. Broadmaw will probably end up being 5-star. Gear Grinder, I've invested in him. He's actually a really good reviver for a rare in the Ogren faction. And since I've already got an Ugo, so I've got a bunch of healing now and I've got some support. I really just need some good damage in the Ogren faction, and this guy is just not cutting it. So as I get some more damage in that faction, and Gear Grinder being a reviver, I can certainly build him better, and he will be good for the account. And then finally, Dawncaller. Dawncaller is very good. Her ability to do this increased defense and increased attack has been great. And the fact that I have her paired with Rector means I don't really need to book her right now. But honestly, long term, she's probably an epic worth investing in because she's actually very, very powerful. Before you watch the video any further, did you know you can use the link down below and start a brand new raid account and get 2 amazing epics? You can get Rector Drath. You'll get her right from the start, right after the tutorial. And once at level 15, you will get yourself an Ugo. Rector Drath is an amazing support reviver. She will heal your team. She will give you perfect veils to protect you. She will throw decrease attack up there. And she has a revive, making it very easy to get through in the early game. And then on top of that, Ugo, you get at level 15 again, is a wonderful support champion. She does decreased defense, she does block buffs, she does healing, she does cleansing. She is an absolute great champion. Very helpful early game, very helpful at end game. They are very good champions in Hydra. They are very good champions all over the game. I use them regularly on every account that I work on. They are great champions and you can get them for free. But not only that, but in the first 72 hours of your account, you can use code Monkey King to get Sun Wukong, or you can use Supreme 6 to get yourself a Supreme Gallic. Both are amazing legendaries. Supreme 6 is a Void legendary, so go for Gallic, I suspect. But you know what? Either one of them is absolutely amazing. Start a brand new account today. The steps are very easy. Log out of your Polarium Play account on PC, or simply uninstall Polarium Play. Create a brand new account using the link. Download from there. Run the install. It'll start up Polarium Play, and boom, there's your new account. If you are on Android or iOS, if you've never played before, you can download using my link and get the same benefits as well. It is an absolutely amazing way to start a brand new account, be it a free-to-play, be it a high-spend account, whatever you want to do. It helps support me, it helps get you into the game, and it's a great way to have some fun. Now let's get back to the video. So that's been my update on this account. We're making some progress. We're making some progress in champ training. Just a quick check-in on the fusion. We are on the fragment summons here. I am at 50 fragments right now. I have finished the summon rush live on stream. I pulled 10 additional ancient shards and got 10 blues, unfortunately, but that will certainly help me for the champion training, give me some extra fodder for that, so that is good. Getting the, working on this gear one right here, we are close to that. But now that I actually have the summon rush done, I can skip a Dungeon Divers event. I can skip a gear enhancement event. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to finish this gear enhancement event because I had some champions I needed to build and get as much as I can on this one. And while I'm at it, finish this Dungeon Divers event, mostly through some champion training and campaign, as well as whatever dungeon is up next. I think it's Spider that's coming up next. What do we got coming up next? Yes, it's Spider. So work on the Spider. I've got this classic arena one done as well. I can claim that. And the champion training tournament here, we're working on that for an additional 10. So that's going to be good. I'll be able to skip, 2 events. I'll have 23 voids here, and I'll have some extra stuff I can pull, including some extra fragments here. So I am not too worried about not getting the bonus on the champion chase that we have afterwards, it certainly might be cutting it close. But again, I'm running getting the top chest on Ultra Nightmare every day. I'm usually getting the second to top chest, if not the top chest, on Nightmare every day. And that's giving me enough shards to kind of make it forward and work on some of these fusions. So hopefully, you know, this progress kind of inspires you to make some progress in Faction Wars, to make some progress on your account, and maybe some ways that you can, you know, key in on some champions that will help your account and why they will help your account. So I appreciate you guys hanging around. You guys are absolutely amazing. Much love. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I will catch you all later, and until the next video, I'm Bront CatHerder.